Hello everyone and welcome back to Age of Nagash, which is a channel dedicated to Age of Sigmar, and in this video it's going to be our final one talking about the pre-order preview for the new Hedonites of Slaanesh Battle coming out in 2021. In case you guys are watching this a long way in the future and there's another one coming out, this is the one for this year. So in this one we've actually got quite a fair bit of rules that they have previewed to us, but what I cannot continue this video without saying though is the fact that we have had a lot of leaks online. I think mainly in Italian, maybe in English now as well. I think there was French as well, of different rules from the many different pages of the Hedonites Battle to come that have been leaked onto Facebook, etc. Now I have had a look at these and I'm not going to delve into them in this video just because the last 4 videos, or 3 videos even, because yesterday they didn't put one up for Hedonites of Slaanesh, so the last 3 videos I have done for this week have actually all been sort of just talking about the community articles, so I don't want to dive down into all these screenshots, not even screenshots, but you know, like just dodgy photos and stuff like that, just because I do generally believe that they are proper leaks, that they are real, like that's the rules we're going to get, but I would rather just review all the rules in full when I have the battle tome myself, and I just think that'll make for better videos. But overall, my opinions on them, from what I've seen, is they look very strong. Hopefully not overpowered. I'm a little bit worried that this might be quite overpowered, this book, and if you could come back and say, well, I don't know, Daughters of Cain are playing very well at the moment, or Iden F. Deepkin are playing very strong, so why can't Slaanesh? I'm not arguing that, I'm just saying I'd rather none of those armies be particularly strong and everything be as fat middle as it can. But hopefully, I don't want to be too pessimistic, so hopefully they'll be okay. But let me know what you think about the rules we've seen so far for Slaanesh down in the comments as always. So anyway, just wanted to get that to the side. Still looks a really cool army to play. The Seeker models that I really like the look of, one of my favourite models, look like they're going to have lots of play as well. Obviously, what I will say is when you look at all those rules that, like I said, have been leaked, we don't know, as far as I'm aware, I don't know what the points are for those units. So you go, oh, this unit could be really good for this. Oh, that might be too good. Right, it might be really expensive in points. The only concern I have is the depravity. Points look far too easy to get, especially how there's a lot more range now in your army. And basically how it works from what I've read is instead of your like heroes causing wounds to enemy models that don't slay them and wounds being caused to your heroes that don't slay your heroes, what is going to work now is when you cause wounds to enemy, or basically damage to enemy units and friendly units in a battle round or a turn, is how many DP you collect. So you can easily get, well, I say easily, you could potentially get a Keeper of the Secrets by turn 2 to summon on. And also there's things like Damn Terrain, where you can sacrifice D3 mortal wounds to you guys to try and like damage more of your units to get more depravity points. But like I said, I've already given this enough time, too much time. I wanted to talk about the leaks, but I just wanted to give you my opinions, because I'm not just going to read through an article and pretend we didn't get those leaks, because that would be a bit silly, wouldn't it? But anyway, on with what I'm more importantly excited to talk about is going to be the article, right? So what we've got here for their final one, like I mentioned, is going to be discover the new rules that make the Hedonites of Slaanesh even more gloriously despicable. Okay, so I haven't actually read through this article. Like I said, I have seen those leaks, but I haven't read through this article, so I'm still excited to see what they're going to get shown here. Hopefully some stuff that we didn't see in the leaks. Right, okay, so going on with it, it says the first thing is the Dark Prince has long had a dedicated following who've been blissfully winning games with the mostly demonic Slaanesh armies, just because they are fucking broken when they came out. Right, okay, so never one to settle for into a comfort zone. The God of Excess has blessed his mortal followers with loads of new units. If you've been watching these videos, I always say the mortals is what I find really cool in Chaos. The demons are alright, but you know, you can connect a lot more with mortals. I mean, check out this guy. He's half mortal, half demon. Definitely connectable, right? You can definitely relate to him. Okay, so then it says, wherever you collect the Hedonites of Slaanesh already, plan to start soon with these jaw-dropping models. Who could blame you? Or suspect you'll be facing off against them. We thought you would like to know what's coming. Okay, so we've seen some of these pictures and stuff before, so that's fine. It says today we'll be giving you a few tantalising hints of the special rules that the new units are bringing to the table. There are so many to choose from. It was hard to narrow it down. Let's dig in. And then we've got Miradesh, I think they're called, Painbringer. So these are my second favourite unit in the whole army. Seekers are my favourite, and this is just from what they look like, basically. But these are my second. They've even got like padded on the shield, so it's just like nice to hold. Lovely models and an interesting paint scheme, because usually we see them in the gold armor, so that's interesting. Looks like maybe silver with what do you call it, the purple wash, Druki Violet I think it was called, over it. Could be simply done like that. It's very cool though, very nice. Anyway, on to some rules. So these elite warriors are heavily armoured, so they're tougher to take down than some of their peers. Once in close quarters, they put their scimitars, I think that is, to good use, swirling and lashing out when their clumsy opponents leave an opening, causing extra damage when they strike a solid blow. Okay, so that rule looks like they're going to show us here. Yeah, show us it now. So, Dance of the Wailing Blade. So, if the unmodified wound roll for an attack made with a melee weapon by this unit is a 6, that unit inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target in addition to any normal damage. That's alright. I mean, yeah, that's good. You know, it's in addition, so it's not instead, because instead do suck generally for those abilities, which is good, but it's just a 6 to wound, so I'd much rather it be a 6 to hit. But here we are, and let's have a quick look. That looks like they're all talking about these guys. So that's all we're going to get for those guys. So we can't see their actual like war scroll from what I've seen it anyway. So we can't really judge it too much. But it's an okay ability. It's not the best, but I don't know what the rest of the war scrolls like. They may be re-rolling wound rolls or something. So you know that could be great. So that's them. And then you've got unleash your Miradesh in the right place at the right time and watch them shine as they strike down even the mightiest of foes. You could definitely plan to pick up a set of those fantastic Hedonites of Slaanesh dice, which I will be doing, getting those in limited battle time myself, to help you roll more 6s. Generally, the faction dice don't roll more 6s. They're generally, I don't think, made particularly well, so there's lots of air bubbles. But anyway, so the Dark Prince would have it no other way. Okay, so I just want to say is that they probably are going to get a lot of attacks, I reckon, these guys, because, you know, they're very fast, very swift. Could be something like someone, apologies, cannot remember the name, but on the last article video I did, someone said they could be like Blight Kings in terms of just how much attacks they chuck out, and I think that could be something we could see here. So apologies, don't remember your name, but thank you very much for saying that idea what they could have, because I do agree with you there. They could have a huge amount of attacks, so that 6s to wound could be amazing. Right, okay, then going on to the Sigmar twin cells. Just replace the faces with helmets and you're fine. That's my only thought to these guys. So the Sigmar are empowered by demonic entities that share their mortal forms, making them faster and stronger if a little less precise. So the melee weapons we've got, so they do show us one of the, well, I presume the only one we've got here, but maybe there's a guy of old weapon stuff, so we'll see. But we've got Merciless Blades, so 2-inch range, 3 attacks, force to hit, freeze to wound, no rend, 2 damage. Yeah, that's alright. I mean, it's clearly something here, but it'd be nice to have a bit of rend on there. And then in battle, they switch back and forth between displays of honed martial prowess and bouts of unnatural swiftness. So here's their rule, Fractured Soul. So ego-driven excess is the first one. Okay, sorry, I'll read this bit. So at the start of your hero phase, you must pick one of the following abilities to apply to this unit until your next hero phase. You must pick a different ability in each battle round. Okay, so you can't just stick to one. You have to almost becomes a bit like the Tides of the Deep King or the table at the Daughters of Cain get. Well, on turn 1 they're like this, turn 2 like this. That you're going to have to kind of plan this out a little bit, but shouldn't be too hard. So the first one you're going to get to choose from is Ego-Driven Excess. So you can reroll hit rolls for attacks made with melee weapons by this unit. I like that because, as we can see, they hit on 4s. So it's nice that it's reroll like hit rolls rather than, for example, reroll wound rolls where you're wounded on 3, so you're probably not going to have too much of a bad time there. So the 4s, you definitely want to get the reroll. So yep, that's nice. That works out very nice. The 2-inch range as well, shouldn't overlook. That generally is good. So that makes me feel like maybe the whip is, yeah, so they're all probably just going to be the same weapon. But no, that's nice there. So then we go on to the Fiendish Reflexes. So instead, you could roll a dice each time you allocate a wound or mortal wound to this unit. On a 5 plus, that unit or mortal wound is negated. Okay, I think that's really nice actually, because what that means is that they can be much more hard hitting with those reroll hit rolls, and then when you know they're going to get hit, if you can tell that far ahead in the battle round when they're stuck in combat, you can make them ignore a third of all damage done to them, which is pretty damn good. Presumably these guys are 2 wounds each, and I'm going to say the same for these guys, the same kit and everything else. You could say 3, but I don't think so. If one was to be 3 wounds, which like I say I doubt, especially with their size, but if we just play that, you know, devil's advocate there, I reckon it will be the twin souls, because purely they have a second soul, so maybe that adds up towards something. Just to say with these guys as well, I reckon they will be quite defensive. Interesting to see what their shield does. That'll be quite cool. Is it just going to be a 5 or more wound save? Is it going to be a terrible 5-up spell save, which the Vanguard have? Which I know might not seem terrible, but trust me, I took it a load against Lord Croak and it did bugger all. Right, so then going on to the next bit down here. So these possessed warriors are capable of letting loose a flurry of powerful attacks that will leave enemy heroes and monsters reeling. Use them to take down the biggest threats as less precious troops swarm the rest of your opponent's army. I mean, I don't know all their rules, do I? But I disagree with that. I mean, the biggest threats your opponent's probably going to have probably got quite a good save, potentially, right? So your no-rend is probably not going to do it, especially their heroes. So I think that's a bit of false bigging up there, but we haven't seen the full war scroll, so I'm not too sure. And then we have, like I said, my favourite unit, which are the Blissful Seekers, or just the Seekers in general, right? So we have between their high move of 14 inches, that's good, and the range of their bows, Bliss Barb Seekers can threaten a wide swathe of the battlefield. So they show us all their attacks. So we've got the missile weapons, which is the main thing. So the Blissful Barb is 18-inch range, 3 attacks, force to hit, force to win, no rend. Force to hit, force to win, -1 rend. So used to the other ones with no rend. -1 rend, 1 damage. So yeah, that's right. The 4s and 4s are not liking at all, but there's probably going to be ways to buff it. And it says for the melee weapons, we've got the Samurai Blade, so 1-inch range, 1 attack, 4s and 4s, no rend, 1 damage. I mean, that's all right, isn't it? I mean, it's not a 5 for an archer unit. Or actually, trying to work out. Sorry, is it a separate unit? That's the Archer Seekers and the Archer Seekers and the Melee Seekers. Because if it's the same unit, which I don't think so, I think they're 2 different units. I'm happy to be wrong on this, but I think they are 2 different units. That would be a terrible attack for them. So I think they are 2 separate units, because if that's what these big blades are, disappointing to say the least. But anyway, so I won't dive too much into that because I might be wrong. So then you got the Poison Tongue from the Seeker, which is a 1-inch range, 2 attacks, freeze and freeze, no rend, 1 damage. I mean, I know it wasn't going to be the best attack, but have you not seen how cool these are? Like, why did their Velociraptor Claw not do anything? It's just like, oh, they're so much cooler than the other Seekers. And I'm sure they're better, because I'm sure the other Seekers aren't freeze and freeze, but I may be wrong on that as well. But yeah, disappointed with the Poison Tongue. Just make it 2 damage. Have some fun, right? So, and then it says, so with the 3 shooting attacks, each, even a minimum size unit can sweep sticky objective holders away. The best part, they retain their effectiveness at the break speed thanks to the flawless accuracy. Flawless accuracy, this unit can run and still shoot later in the same turn. So at that point, we've got a move of 14, Blissful Barb Bow at 18, so that is going to be mass 32. And then you've got you could auto run them 6 if you wanted to by spending that command point, can you? So it could be a 38 range for it, I believe that is, if you do maths. Yep, that's right. So yeah, that's pretty good, to be fair. And like I said, I had a quick look at these guys beforehand, but I didn't know everything about them. So no, that adds up nicely. And I think that's probably good. You probably buff that, like I say, as well. 3 attacks is nice per 1. So that's cool. Just really hope that weapon there is not the Symbrite Blade there, but I don't know. So we've got the Bliss Barb Seekers are no slouches in melee either, which makes them a versatile unit that will form the core of many winning strategies. I think you could probably do a lot of these guys, but especially great late game. But I mean, their melee attacks are not, I mean, they're not shit, but they're not as cool as I was hoping for. And then we got Sigmar, the Prince of Slaanesh. So this lovely guy, obviously we know who he is with his retinue here. So let's see what we've got. So one of the most magnificent new miniatures in the range, and doesn't he know it, is Siegfried. And he deserves a place in every Hedonite's army. This superlative duelist enjoys nothing more than showing off his skills at every opportunity, striking down his mark before they can lift a finger, claw, or blade in opposition. Very much like Siegfried, he gets to hit first. I like that. So, Glorious Reborn. So this model fights at the start of the combat phase. Yep, so just what basically said there in the lore. So if it made a charge move in the same turn, so okay, so it fights at the start if it makes a charge move, got that. It cannot fight again in that phase unless an ability or spell allows it to fight more than once. There's probably going to be multiple things in the Hedonites book to do that, I reckon, at least one way. So then we've got Siegfried's skill in combat is such that there's very little that can go toe-to-toe with him in all the mortal realms. When wielding the enchanted blade Shard Lash, so the Prince of Slaanesh makes a mockery of his foes. Right, so Shard Slash, there we go, I can try and pronounce things right. So 1 inch range, attack C below, so hopefully that's what this is. 2 to hit, freeze to wound, minus 2 and D3 damage. That's right, but don't know anything until we read this. So powered by Vainglory, love that, Vainglory, fantastic word. Okay, add 3 to the charge roll for this model. In addition, the attack characteristics of Shard Slash is either 5 or equal to the unmodified charge roll made for this model in the same turn, whichever is higher. That is cool. That there's probably going to be ways to like reroll charges in this army and everything else because it's unmodified, so you're not going to get the +3 to charge. So, I mean, that's great. Just first off, +3 to charge. This guy going minimum 5 inches to a maximum of 15, but I would say there, well, I suppose if he was also in, is it Godseekers as well, you get that extra +1, so that could be like 16 inches, just thinking quickly. But unless there's an ability, he will only be able to declare a charge if he's within 12 inches or something, so just bear that in mind. And these pluses he's going to get to his charge, as it's an unmodified charge roll to see his attacks, are not going to count. But minimum 5 attacks, hit on 2s, wound and freeze, again, probably ways to reroll and buff this. You could just do standard all-out attack, and then you're rerolling that 1 to hit, and then minus 2 end, D3 damage. I like that. Cool. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. Minimum 5 attacks. Yeah, that's cool. You'll probably get better charges than that because the average is a 7. So yeah, I like that. That's cool. Swingy D3, but I like it. And this is as an added bonus, any wounds Shard Slash inflicts cannot be negated. Okay, yeah, love it now. Really like that. Making Siegfried one of the most reliable assassins in the game. Did we mention you're going to want him in your army? Okay, I really like that. Obviously, we don't know the points of this guy now. Unless, again, if that's been leaked, I haven't seen it. So if you want to let me know in the comments, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I like that. I mean, someone who's played a little bit against Ishlin Ills lately. Whoa, if I could do that to them, or Phoenix Guard as well, play against them a lot, oh, they're going to be fucked. So yes, I like this a lot. Yeah, that's a great built-in ability it has there. There's a what is it? If you go one of the sub-legions for Ostrich Bone Reapers, which is basically I've forgotten the name of it now. Nol Marad, I think it's called. It's all about the magic one, and the artifact you get there, which you give to your Liege Carrios, will allow him to have the same thing, so enemies can't save against those attacks. And when you get those attacks through, really good, and especially how you're so reliable with this sort of characteristic. Yeah, that's really good. Even if it's D3 damage, it's great because the enemy can't ignore it. So yeah, I like that. Obviously, you know, if you're going against Marathi, in case it comes up, she will only take 3 damage in a turn. But it says, this wave of releases bring in a dazzling variety of units, the Hedonites of Slaanesh, each with their own role to play in Symphony of Destruction. They're all up for pre-order tomorrow, along with the new Battlestone, so you can see the full rules for yourself very soon. Okay, are they all up, or is it just the ones from this? Well, we'll find out tomorrow. There's not long to wait, is it? So then we've been exploring the Hedonites of Slaanesh all week, so take a look at some of the example armies. Okay, so go back to the other articles if you want to, and basically just tell them if you're excited on their Facebook page if you want to. So, with that, yeah, I think that's cool. This is what I've been wanting and waiting for sort of all week, and then it kind of sucks when you just get a bunch of leaks. I know like leaks are good, right, because then you get those extra info, but it kind of sucks when you're just like waiting for like the official company, Games Workshop, to show you some rules, and you wait all week for it, and then suddenly just you go on Facebook and you just find the rules there, and it's just like, you know, you feel like it's paid off your waiting, and I mean, it's good, isn't it? Obviously, like I say, seeing those leaks, but you want it to come from Games Workshop themselves. Like, they usually don't wait until the last day to show you some rules. This would usually be like on Wednesday, they'll show us this, so yeah, that's a little bit annoying. But I've enjoyed the Warhammer Community articles about this. Like I said, I think they could be better, but I've enjoyed it. You know, we've learned quite a bit about the lore, about certain things, and we've starting to get a feel for the army, how it's going to work. But of course, those leaks will probably give you more info if you want to look at those. But like I said, I'm not going to properly review those until I have the book in my own hands, and I can do a proper, nice, comfortable review of it in a very Slaanesh way. So yeah. Guys, with that, what I'd like to say is, if you've got any thoughts on what we've read here, or probably you guys want to talk about those leaks, because like I said, there's more information there, please put them down in the comments below, and it'll be interesting to see your thoughts and all that sort of thing. And so I think when I was reading this one, I was jumping around quite a lot, but I was just like happy to tell you different sort of ramblings of what I think these things could mean. But yeah, like I said, let me know your thoughts down below. That would be great to hear them. And if you did enjoy the video, remember to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, make sure that you smash that subscribe button, as that really helps out the channel on YouTube. And especially if you do like just one more thing for me, that would be fantastic if you hit that bell notification as well. Those free clicks really help out the channel hugely, and it's absolutely free to do so. And really, I would be grateful if you could. What I also want to say is a massive shout out to my patrons, who, yet again, as I always talk about, they are the lifeblood of the channel. They give me enough reason to be able to continue making these videos to try and help people get into Age of Sigmar and to improve and help them along their way on the Age of Sigmar journey. So with that, we've got my beautiful Morgasts, which are going to be the lovely Sandback, the brilliant Johnathan H, the beautiful Filq, and then the amazing Bleed Red. So thank you very much, guys, for that tier. As we all know, that tier is amazing, and huge appreciation there. And then my vampires, who also do a great job, which are going to be Mir, Martin S, Rouse321, and David A, and also Ronni H, who was previously a Necromancer, and he has now been given the Blood Kiss and has become Soul Blight, becoming a vampire, and really upgrading his support to my channel. So thank you a lot for myself to you there, mate. Really makes a big difference. And then of course my Necromancers, which are going to be Jacq.l, RadiationRiley, AW77, Sagas, WolfNick, Michal W, Quad, Cranky Wombat, Christopher F, and Christopher C. Again, guys, you all really help as well keep the channel going. And what I'd like to say is, if you would like to support the channel that step further, please consider becoming a patron. There'll be a link to my Patreon in the top of the description down below. Even if you just click on it and consider giving like $1 a month to the channel, it really, like I say, keeps the channel going. I can't thank you enough. But if you can't do that, no worries at all. And if you did enjoy the video, like I said, like, subscribe, comment, 3 simple things massively help the channel out. And if you could, press that bell notification as well. But with that, guys, all I'm going to leave you with, it's been an exciting week learning about Slaanesh, and I can't wait to get my hands on the book. And it'll be also interesting to hear how excited you are for the army. What do you want to field? What do you reckon direction you're going to go? Are you still going to go demons, or are you all in on the new mortals? Let me know down below. But with that, as always, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Remember, till next time, to stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, stay hygienic for God's sake. So that means we can all start gaming with our Slaanesh models at some point in the future. But more importantly, more than all of that, is remember until next time that Nagash is all, and all is one in Nagash.